Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for coming this afternoon to really celebrate and recognize our partners in our battle against childhood cancer. I'm Michael Earhart. I'm the medical director here at the Nemours Children's Clinic in Jacksonville, and we gather here today to recognize the Hyundai Hope on Wheels efforts through the Hyundai Corporation of America. You may not know what Hyundai Hope on Wheels is, but what it involves is a nationwide program and campaign that money from every car that's sold at every dealership is brought together for this foundation. And believe it or not, since 1998 to the year 2012, it has collected more than $72 million. Remarkable. Here at Nemours locally, we've been very fortunate to not only be recipients of the grant money today, but at other years. And I think it's been several years running now. I've lost count, it's been so many. But what it allows us to do is to help to develop safer treatment plans and just to follow up on children as they become young adults and further on into adulthood, to make certain that we're doing everything we can to soften the impact of the terrible diseases that they may encounter with childhood cancer and its systemic effects. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce Mr. Sam Aronovich, who is the General Manager of the Southern Region of the Hyundai Corporation of America.
Dealers, it's a privilege for us to be here today at Nemours. As you know, September is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month, and we've been pretty busy at Hyundai. Across the nation, we're going to visit 41 different institutions and award $10.25 million worth of HOPE grants throughout those 41 institutions. So it's be a very good month for us, and as was just mentioned, it will put our total donations up to over $72 million by the end of the year, which makes us one of the largest donors to pediatric cancer research, which we're very proud of. And as was mentioned, we started on this 15 years ago, so this is like our anniversary year. And again, we're real pleased to be here. And today, we're here to recognize Dr. Michael Joyce, who is our HOPE grant recipient. And we're going to honor him with a check for $250,000 today for his research. And later he's going to come up and tell us a little bit about what he's doing. And then when we get done with some of the speaking parts, we're going to have what we call our signature handprint ceremony on our beautiful Hyundai Santa Fe out in front, where we'll get all the kids together. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few moments. But before we begin and I introduce Dr. Joyce to the podium, I would like to recognize some of the dealers because, as was mentioned, without their support, we cannot fund this program to the extent they do. Every time a Hyundai vehicle is sold, a portion of the sale proceeds goes into the Hope on Wheel Fund. And so we have some of our local dealers here who are all very involved in the program and very engaged. And I would like to mention some of them. Jack Hanania is here from Orange Park Hyundai, Westside Hyundai. Where's Jack at? And also Andy Hines and Andrew Caruso are here, also from Orange Park and Westside. Where are they at? Owner of Key Hyundai is here, and she's going to talk a little bit. Maureen? And also Rick Goss is here with her from Key Hyundai. And, coming here from St. Augustine Hyundai, Andrew DeFeo, owner. Where's Andrew at? Again, thank you guys, and thank you for your support of the program. Yeah, so now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Joyce. Tell us about his research.
Well, I want to say it's a great privilege to be here today and accept this very generous award from the Hyundai Hope on Wheels. It provides an opportunity for Nemours to influence the future of bone marrow transplantation. They say that knowledge is power, and this is especially true in those of us who treat children with cancer. We participate with the CIBMTR, which is the Center for International Bone Marrow Transplant Research, which maintains a database for all transplant outcomes in the United States and throughout the world. And they currently have over 330,000 transplants in their database. And in collaboration with the international scientific community, it leads the transplant world in outcomes research. So we look at this data to evaluate what we've done in the past and what we should do in the future. They provide not only retrospective studies, but prospective studies on transplant outcome. And providing our center and other centers with this data and expertise and educational programs that help us improve the outcome for pediatric transplantation. This award is important because individual transplant centers around the world submit data to populate this registry and access this survival data for help us compare our outcomes with other centers. And with our partners at the Wilson Children's Hospital, the Mayo Clinic, we use this data to develop new indications for transplantation, recommendations for treating rare diseases, and identify factors that may affect the survival and impact the quality of life on patients. Our project goals using this award from the Hyundai Hope on Wheels is to integrate multiple electronic health records for automated data abstraction, harmonization and data submission to the Center for International Bone Marrow Transplant Research, and develop an integrated electronic quality management plan that tracks outcomes for our pediatric transplant patients. And by developing this system that addresses the data requirements for multiple external partners, but manages the data in a single platform accessible to centers like ourselves, we'll be able to bring clinical research and quality improvement to the forefront for those of us who treat children with cancer. And this is a critical step forward not only for Nemours, but for other pediatric centers around the world that have been using multiple systems to submit and track data. It'll help us eliminate redundant effort, streamline the way we collect data, and make this data more easily accessible. Next year, we'll celebrate our 20th anniversary for our transplant program in Jacksonville, and we've transplanted over 250 children for a wide variety of diseases, and we continue to expand the indications for transplant. And I'd like to sincerely thank the Hyundai Hope on Wheels, all the dealers who are here, all of you here, for supporting our efforts and awarding us this grant. This is the second grant we've been generously received from the Hyundai Hope on Wheels, and I really sincerely thank you all for your support, and thank our patients and families who continue to motivate us every day in our research. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce the Addison Seacrest family to the podium, and they're going to share with us their story about their battle with cancer and their treatments here. On August 21st of 2012, Addison was diagnosed with ALL leukemia. The best way to describe it is that her life went from tiaras and tea parties to a daily regimen of pokes, prods, tests, and all kinds of different procedures. It rocked her world, it rocked our world. On top of that, we found out that she had a chromosomal abnormality called Philadelphia's chromosome. This makes the ALL much harder to treat. And I say all this because research money like what's being presented today is what made her outcome so much better. Even 3 to 5 years ago, this treatment protocol was a guaranteed bone marrow transplant. And because of research and progress from those research dollars, she is probably as free and clear as she can be right now from having to have that bone marrow transplant. So we thank Hyundai and all the dealers that provide this research money. She's a perfect example of what that money does. Her prognosis, her life is much better because of the donations that you provide. So
she's a year in. We have about a year to go. And for those of you that don't know Dr. Joyce personally, you've just heard him present his plan to do the research money. What the kids know him for is he blows up balloons with gloves and sticks their stuffed animals in them. And actually, he did that once for Addison during a particularly tough time. And she's always remembered that. That's what she whispered in my ear when Dr. Joyce was just up there. He's the guy that makes the balloons. So thank you, Hyundai. Thank you for everybody that's here. And we appreciate it.
Thank you for sharing your story with us. Now I'd like to introduce one of our local dealers, Maureen Burnett, on behalf of Key Hyundai. Come up and say a few words on behalf of the dealers.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to... Is that better? Sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank Addison and her family for sharing that really heartwarming story with us. It's these children and their stories that are so truly amazing, and so much of why it is so important that this work continue in the fight against cancer. When you all came in the entrance here, you saw the 2013 Hyundai Santa Fe Sport with handprints from children from around the country that are battling or have battled cancer. And today, the kids here with Nemours Children's Clinic will be adding their own handprints, celebrating their lives and sharing their stories with other children around the country. In addition, we have a little surprise for y'all, and on behalf of all of the Hyundai dealers here, we would like to present a little gift for y'all, and I believe you'll get it out here. It's a Target gift card to help you and your families as you're having your treatment here at Nemours Children's Clinic. And with that, I think it's time now to present Dr. Joyce his check. So Dr. Joyce, if you could come up here along with the other Hyundai dealers, please.
Can we get Addison up here also and her family join us?
Addison, will you come join us too, please? Okay.
Good. Where's Addison? She's right there.
You got to put you in the front.
That's the balloon doctor.
This is video, so you guys can smile.
Dr. Joyce, we also we have the official Hope on Wheels lab coat that we give to our local members. So here you can see the Hope on Wheels. Now is the time we go out and we do the handprint ceremony, and we do tell the kids, in case you're wondering, don't do this at home. What we do is put their hands in paint, and they're going to put their handprints on the car, as Maureen said, and sometimes, Dr. Joyce, the handprints make their way on the lab coat. It's just to make you aware.
Okay,
So if, and lastly,
I'm buttoned up.
And just lastly, while everyone's here, I'd just like to mention, if you get the opportunity, please just go on Google search Hyundai Hope on Wheels, and you'll see all the initiatives and activities we have going on throughout the U.S. And of course, if you want to be more involved in our program, the more the merrier, as we say at Hyundai. So I guess we'll join us outside for our handprint ceremony. Again, thank you everybody for taking time.